My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. At the end of the last episode, we have rescued Uncle Murray, and we have also destroyed all 3 of the pylons before now attempting to re-enter the Black House. The Black House gate. It's unlocked. Already saw to that by taking out Terrence Poindexter, rather. Both in natural and worm form. You rush into the foyer of the Black House. Murray leads you up a corridor and down a flight of stairs to a huge basement laboratory. I don't know why that was difficult to say. The room is dominated by a massive writhing tear in space, seemingly confined to an Umbratanium frame. The president is typing furiously at a computer console nearby, but she turns around momentarily when you enter. She glares at you, practically hissing.
I know I shouldn't have trusted that idiot Poindexter to deal with you. I noticed the shadow flow has dropped back to ambient levels. I assume that was your doing? Yeah, I busted all your weird pillars. Now I'm gonna bust you. Oh no, I'd be real upset if you weren't too late. Ah, nuts. Yeah, nuts to you. The portal's open.
You know what? I'm making an executive decision. This character's voice is too close to the triangular of 3 different voices that I've done recently. They are French now. Yeah, nuts to you. The portal is open, and after I make a last few calibrations, the Emperor of all Shadows shall be summoned to the plane to kneel before me. And I will rule this universe, not as the President of Shadows, but the Empress.
Wow, that's a much bigger goal than I was expecting.
Yeah, well, go big, go home, right? Anyway, do not try to stop me. With the attention at the console to keep my reaction steady, this thing could implode and cause the whole tri-state area to become a smoking crater.
Jeez, okay, well, mind if I have a look around?
Sure, whatever. Just don't pester me unless you want to, have everyone you ever, unless you want everyone who has ever heard of you to die.
Okay.
At some point, this horrible project must have involved some chemistry. These chemicals are as dangerous as a barrel of monkeys that has shotguns from. This deck has seen a lot, especially recently. You're scared that if you interrupt her, the entire universe might blow up, or at least the tri-state area. You're no expert. This seems bad. Murray's holding a weird something. I'll talk to him in a moment. There's an arcane bench over there. This bed clearly hasn't been slept in for weeks. There's also some cooking over there I could do. A lot of engineering and occult books. Nothing really catches your eye. Alright, Murray, what do you got?
What's that?
An Umbratanium bomb! I cobbled it together from parts I found lying around here while you were distracting the president. Good job on that.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, that was intentional. But, what's your plan exactly? From what she said, it sounded pretty bad to mess with this stuff.
She's trying to sell him something, right? I figure we can, by applying enough of pressure at just the right time, reverse the flow and make it an out portal instead of an in portal.
Oh, I get it! So it'll suck her into space and no more problem.
Well, not exactly. Or rather, yes, but that's not the end of it. We also have to take care of whatever's waiting on the other side of that portal.
Oh. You're saying I have to go through and fight it, aren't you?
I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be a literal fight or whatever, but yeah, that's the long short of it, kiddo. This is the end game. There's no coming back from this. Are you ready?
Well...
Actually, let me be more explicit. This is literally the end game. Once I set off the bomb and you go through the portal, you can't come back and the game ends one way or another. But nothing gets saved after you go, so you can reload back to here and keep playing afterwards.
I don't really understand what you mean by that.
That's okay, kiddo. It wasn't really you I was talking to.
Wink.
Let me take care of something first. Molly's partner is in jail. Alright, how do I... So if I go to Big Moist... Molly doesn't say anything about Big Moist. Got it. Molly. But if I go to Gray County? Molly? No. No interest in that whatsoever. I mean, none of these really seem like it would be... How do I trigger this last vignette? Like, all of the vignettes I've triggered have, largely just been by taking Molly to a location that she then has a response to. I'd really like to see her vignette through, maybe even a couple of other ones if I can. I also want wire coat hangers so I can jimmy a couple of these locks, but unfortunately I do not have access to that. The impenetrable wall of corn. Ocean City, Crystal Dream Lake, SIT Campus, Porkham. So I've been in all of these locations. What if I look at my to-do list? It doesn't give us any additional information about that, unfortunately. So... she has the equipment she's looking for. What additionally do you need now? Minor concussion, -1 mysticality, I'll go get rid of that endpoint. I'm also just gonna avoid that one, get a broken rib. Yep. No, Molly doesn't really have a response to any of this. I'm just not certain where I would find it. Also, I can't even remember exactly what her last text was. She got the cake. Now she needs to break her partner out of prison. But that's at a... take a bus somewhere? Can't just randomly take a bus there or anything like that. Come on, gotta stand around beating our gums, wiggle on so we can ditch this pop stand. I'm liable to get the horrors. I mean, Sandwich had a jail? I think, maybe? No? No, it doesn't. Yeah, that makes sense. They put him straight to death here. Old man looks a little familiar. Hey, of course. I'm gonna splash some water on my face and lose these debuffs. Okay. I mean, I can only imagine that the vignette has to continue past this point. It seems like it should, especially if we've gone and bought the cake itself. She doesn't know the location, right? Not only did she tell us, like, I don't remember the name. I don't think the name was necessarily important, like Charlestown State Penitentiary or something like that. She doesn't know the name. Theoretical topology. So maybe I'm looking for some way to get her access to a map or a globe that she could look at in order to see additional information. I'll leave this guy to his endless mopping. I feel like the bow that I'm drawing on that one's a wee bit long. Just a wee bit long, unfortunately. Janet gives a friendly smile. Hey, Ted, I found a new friend for you, by the way. Douglas obviously doesn't have anything additional to tell me at this point.
Wait, hang on. I'm looking for a certain book.
Again?
This time, I actually know which one. The call number is 13.3.43.
Numbers. Doug pulls out a large ledger and flips through it.
Oh, that's been moved to special collections. I'm afraid I can't let you check it out, but if you promise to be careful with it, I can let you read it here.
That'd be swell, thanks.
He leaves for a moment and then returns with an old book bound in black leather. The title page says Diabolus Ungulata, a directory of the hoovered and horned matters of the realm below. As you flip through the book, it opens to a page that has been accidentally marked with a blob of black wax. I read onwards. The page is headed Duke Bovicus, and it has a drawing of a spiky symbol on the pouch that you found. Apparently, Bovicus is a great and heavy lord of the Inferno whose domains are violence and greed, and who is known for offering lopsided deals to foolish humans who long for power. There's a description of a ritual to summon him, which involves standing in a circle drawn with chalk, mixing with virgin blood, burning a beef tallow candle, scattering cow's bane, and reciting a complex incantation, which you dutifully copy down just in case. It also notes that regularly reciting the incantation backwards serves as a charm to prevent Bovicus from finding you if you're ever worried about that for some reason. Let me go into the stacks, because I know that there was... I know that in the stacks there was a ritual circle. And I guess in the past, in Sandwich, there's also a ritual circle. Maybe if that, still interests me at this point. Yeah, maybe it does, maybe it does. I got a copy of the yeah, I'm gonna get a second copy of the replica glass ring. Alright. Let's try the Crystal Dream Lake. It's been a while since I've been here. Interesting.
Ah, nuts! Hold the line! I stepped in some kind of weird mushrooms. Ah, spores all over my good dancing shoes, for crying out loud! Dancing as in actual dancing or a back alley shootout? Why'd you want a different pair of each? They ain't that dissimilar.
She wipes it off. Is there anything to find randomly with an explorer in the area, just in case on a later day that is now available to us? Alas, we find more of the shadow creatures, but no more shadow locations. Let's go for one more call for backup. And fine, I will actually finish this with the Sacks of Violence, a little bit of a nod towards the combat strategy we used to engage in. Now, Sandwich doesn't currently have the ability to go back in time, so I'm gonna have to go to the hardware store and relocate the... junk mail, neat! And relocate in the past, especially as well, rather, the toilet teleport. So 1917 calendar on the wall by the desk, looks brand new. Alright. Changed my mind about where to put that outhouse. Please put it at the Sandwich Museum. And then I leave this time, go to the Sandwich Museum, go into the outhouse. Yep, cool, remember it now. I'll check the meat return and buy myself a soda. It's easier to just do that every time than think about what to do anytime. Probably a real bad thing to do magic with, evidently. Sparkly Tutu, signed, notarized form, old Sandwich. There's some stuff to sell, some stuff to just have. Search the pockets of these deckhand pants. There's a furl piece of paper in one of the pockets which I unfurl. Monday 020376. Can a riverboat run with a single deckhand on board? I suppose we're about to find out. Claude Joseph got into a terrible spat with the new captain and jumped ship to crew the trawler of a passing lobsterman. Andrews, as it turns out, embellished his qualifications and isn't a trained deckhand at all, so I'm already feeling the strain. Had to lock up the outhouses by myself, usually a 3-man job. Suffice it to say, this will make a real mess of my whole summer. Tuesday 020476. We set sail today. I won't be keeping this diary as I only thought to buy one sheet of paper. So this has got to be a little bit more of a hint of like, I had to lock up the outhouses by myself. So this is Deckhand Pat who had to do this, right? And Deckhand Pat locking it up uses the format 020376. So that would be a bit of a hint as towards what he'd used for locking it up, I presume? And now we are down to items that I don't really think we can use in any way right now. Sick. You know, outside of vignettes, while there may be things left to tie up, I am getting pretty close to being comfortable ending this run. Do I want to do just like a quick once-over of a bunch of different places that were weird? Like, I deeply do. Don't need to go back to the sandwich. Let's go to the pet store and see if they've got a new pet today. Hey, Greta. Any new pets? Totally out of pets. Makes sense. Hey, any new crystals? No? Any of them that I can keep as pets? Look like a yes on that one, unfortunately. Cave and then the mine. I mean, neither of these is going to be especially interesting, I can't imagine. The cave was completely empty. Although these fungi are glowy, it's possible that that's just an interaction for someone who, you know, has the right skills for that. Like, I'm a jazz agent and I'm a psychogeologist. I may not necessarily have the ability to, you know, explore mushrooms. Distract him with the seltzer. Keep running. It's especially because we have so... Interesting. I didn't put that there. It's especially because we have so many of the... so many additional items at this point that I want to see if any of the other locations that we've been through previously have an interaction with a late game item that you're not supposed to get for a while until after that point that is unique and fun and, you know, tricky, and that's how this game works. I don't want to leave it without the opportunity to do that. And this also serves as an opportunity for me to get Molly to go to a bunch of different locations to see if I can actually trigger the end of her vignette. Don't need anything from the Geo downstairs. Lighthouse. Can't imagine I'm going to get anything from here. Been here a couple of times. I'm not going to go for the time-altered version of every location as well, unfortunately. Still hasn't taken his turn yet. The universe is about to end. You want to go take a turn? No, not at all? Alright. An empty cabinet over here. Oh, and it's wet. Right. My bad then. A dam to go and inspect. I'll collect some negative effects. Has a Glaxon valve on it. Can't take that. I smell the nice smell. There's meat hidden in the pipe. Another one of those doors if I want to go back through time. Guess I will. So yeah, maybe the doors are now just installed in all locations at the same time to save time? Splash some water on my face and lose my strongest negative there. Fair enough, time to get out of there. Lunch, but it's definitely unidentifiable. I mean, I can't even tell this guy, hey, I killed Poindexter, don't worry. I mean, it's significantly far in the future, but I killed him, nonetheless. You're probably still dead already at this point, but I did kill them also. And you're welcome. I really don't think the junkyard's gonna have anything additional at this point. I almost want to just immediately leave, given the fact that Molly hasn't responded. So I'm gonna do that. Molly, it's not the distillery you were looking for, right? Can't imagine so. I could make some new potions if I really wanted to. Honestly, plus 2 AP in a fight. Worth it. Just lets me end a lot of things on turn 1. Okay, nothing additional here. Junkyard Beppo's hole. We've only got to go there to the question marks, then we leave. Yeah, lots of spiders in this hole. There's lots of spiders in this hole always, unfortunately. Beppo's Surikino. Decaying Nightstand has a match and a fuse. Neat. Wow, it was so much easier to get a fuse when I didn't need one. Fairy Lair, I literally can't imagine anything being here, and I've also been here recently, so that's it for this location. Let's go to Ocean City. Quickly check Polycarps. And tell this guy that I don't need a match.
Hello?
Large quantity, what are you looking for? I ended up getting that, right? I ended up getting a big block of ice that then I consecrated. Right? Strange that he doesn't remember that. I wonder if I may have gotten a couple of bug triggers on certain conversations here, adding to the kind of arcane nature of some of this already. Alright, Ms. Brewster. I can't imagine there's anything new here either, but only one way to find out. And also, there's a lot more locations I would imagine there's possibly nothing in at all that definitely probably have things in them, so I can't always trust my instinct like that. Costs nothing to go upstairs. Fridge Factory. I mean, there's a boardwalk after that as well past. Speaking of, though, I might be able to complete the next level of the boardwalk. Or rather, I definitely should be able to complete the next level of the boardwalk. And I've got a couple new hats for Tony. Hey, buddy. Want to see my really nice cowboy hat? No, you've seen that. Sailor's cap? Nope, you've got that. And you've got my Pukwudgie hat apparently as well. Hat. There we go. So prison hat will be new to you.
What's that, a prison hat?
Then a unglorious tiara. And then finally, back to hats. A pounded wig.
Oh my god, that's a pound wig. Love it.
Fortune teller's hut. I pay for a reading and see if they say anything else. First card reveals the past events that led you here. The Emperor of Cakes. What's the Emperor of Cakes represent? It's a tragedy about your childhood, something to do with the circus. The Fiery Fisherman is your current card, which represents that you're having your fortune told, and the last card's the future. The Frank Aid. Frank Aid. Very interesting. Has great danger. Frank Aid. Frank Aid. Interesting. Door down to the secret vampire bar, but I don't need to go there. 13 stats. 13 to all stats. My mysticality is the thing that's really holding me back here, unfortunately. So how can I give myself as much mysticality as possible? I ask this because I can get to 11 right now, and that's where my growing stops. I can get mysticality on my pants, but then I still need another +1 to mysticality. Where's my mysticality? There we go. SIT kitchen britches. If I look at the effects on my character at this point in time, my perks. Pep Talk, Moxie, Perfect Teeth, neat. Yeah, the food is giving us Oh, the cocktail is not giving me mysticality. I can go and change my cocktail, and then I will have enough mysticality to complete this. Beautiful. This is exactly the kind of loose end I want to be tying up. Okay, head into the bar and order myself a tequila. And I'll have that with a cola, with a dash of bitters. If you'll let me, please. Thank you muchly. Before we walk our way over to the boardwalk in order to do 3 wildly improbable tasks all at the same time. I throw him some soda to enjoy. Certainly not to blow them up. I mean, if it has that effect, hey, I'm not going to complain about it. A game of skills.
Oh man, I was hoping you'd come back. I'm not just saying that as a carny who wants people to pay 10 meat to play his games. Only 2 people have ever beaten our 6th challenge, and kid, I think you might be the 3rd. What's the challenge? Crack a short message encoded in a military-grade cipher while crushing a cinder block with your forehead and juggling these 3 live cobras. Does it still count if I get bitten? Well, strictly speaking, yes, but I don't recommend it. Okay.
The carny gestures theatrically to a cinder block and a hissing wicker basket, and then starts tapping out dots and dashes on a telegraph key. You gingerly pick up the basket and toss the snakes into the air, grabbing and juggling them before they get a chance to react. Beep, 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 beep. That's not what a snake sounds.
Okay, a B is a G and a V is a P.
Okay, well, I mean, look. I do wonder if they are encoding something here also in Morse code, but it would only have like, 4, 5, 6 characters maximum. I solved the code.
Drink your Ovaltine? What on earth does that mean? Don't forget the cinder block. Oh, right. Magnifico! Brilliant! Just toss the snakes back into the basket there and I'll give you your prize.
You got an item, the shiny plastic crown. A child's plastic crown, plated in genuine 24 karat gold plus 6 spooky armor.
Hooray! There they are, our current champion of skills. Are you ready to face the final challenge? Level 7. The feat that nobody has ever beaten before. All you have to do is untie this Gordian knot. Ah, that's easy. Without cutting it. Oh, while using a compass and a straight edge to construct a square with the same area as a given circle. But that's, and break this raw egg by yelling at it. No thanks. Well, not with that attitude you won't. What?
I got the shiny plastic crown, but it's not worth a good goddamn unless I show it to Pony Fiasco, of course. It does shine, which is nice. It feels good. Alas, the rewards for doing arcane and improbable things in this game tend not to be powerful. I'm gonna swarm through with my 3 Moxie and see if... Honestly, I was just reminded of the sparkling of the sugar over in the corner by the sparkling of my hat, and wanted to see if somehow these were even slightly related in any way, shape, and or form. Look, they don't have to be, but... We also learned that now Molly doesn't give a heck about this area either. Whole Relaxicola factory, makes sense. All of that shut down also makes sense. The regular house, probably not going to be relevant here. I mean, I could go fishing in the sink, but yeah, it's not going to be anything as special or interesting, I can't imagine. Handful of clean water. Can't imagine I got that out of there. There's an upstairs to this building also. That and lost. A mirror over there that's broken. What I'm looking for is like a thing that was previously locked that I Was it a game table? No. Okay, I give up. Something that might have been previously locked that maybe now I have a key to that I wouldn't have otherwise expected. I just need this to pay off once, and this'll look clever. However, if it pays off nonce, I'ma look real dumb. Ultimately, I intend to keep looking around for any loose... Ah, there you go. Paint that. Got him. I intend to keep looking around for any loose threads and companion vignette starts until... Examine the lamp, I don't need to do that. Until the end of this episode. And then I'm not gonna record the next episode immediately. I will leave a day, rather, for this video to be up before I record the next one. Just in case anyone has a final thing of like, actually there is this thing that maybe you want to possibly have a look at. The spoiler light direct of, hey, maybe you need to go to a certain place to do an additional thing. Especially something that would be too cool as to let go by the wayside there, rather. I'm not gonna start like a new conversation with every individual. That would be too deep for me to really want to go in. I'm pretty certain I've been basically all around Goldswaite Park recently, so I don't think that's going to be relevant. Shall pass him with my muscles. Hey, Marvin's still here. Still on the box, but no longer hungry. Fair enough. And with Hiram's and Shop, that will complete this entire area. Giving us 2 fully completed areas. Well, I mean, Government Valley I also kind of count as fully complete. Really, it feels like there's like a lot in Grey County that is undone, but it's possibly undone because I did not find the way to full complete a lot of those, unfortunately. Okay, nothing on that shelf. We've been to Hiram's. Time to go to the shop. Although, again, having been here recently... Sorry, I tricked you out of your gang. Was a dirty trick. Yep. Recently enough to know that that's not anything. Crystal Dream Lake is done. SIT campus in Porkham. I mean... Are there theoretically additional things that we can interact with here? Yes, but some of them are going to be very hard to really get to. Easy Steve, you've got new orders. None of those are relevant. Floyd's now happily eating his lunch. Good. This guy is selling pencils that make him look real clever. Over the shop and the bridge with the fish mother den down here, possibly? I mean, I know it is here. Just whether or not anything has changed in here may be different. Nursery cage. Yeah, no, that's just fighting. That'll remain static, I have to imagine. Scalar wing, let's head there. I schmooze the math for a smooth 11. So I don't actually need to go into geology. Liberal arts department has almost nothing in. Makes sense, that's about as much funding as they get. Let's try the Vector Wing. Advanced Magnetospheric Flux. Grants a spell damage perk. This textbook is about the invisible forces that surround us and that make compasses work. Neat. Astronomy teacher, doesn't really have any additional details at this point in time. Theater topology lab. I am trying to make this as little like pulling teeth as possible. Steam tunnel access, so that could go back down to the bottom. Don't really need to though. She's just having a nap back there. Frozen food and phys ed. Don't need to go to phys ed. I could go to the roof, but I've been to the roof relatively recently and there was nothing there at the time. Just painted shot from the outside. Cool. Ah, right, I've got. That's how those two look. So that's the laundry room, trove of dangerous chemicals and all. The rat doesn't want any additional cheese or anything like that. Greenhouse access is barred for us. Rufus is no longer here. Not as much steam as you want to carry. Well, yeah, I definitely finished that mission, so I have no clue what's going on with the priest. Nothing new there, nothing new there. To Hexrock Mines. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to access geology. Okay. Save being exhaustive with the what's the word I'm looking for here? The fraternities. I don't imagine there's much more at this point. Gotta make sure the Midnight Man's dead here. Sorry, the Shadow Homunculus. Shadow Devil? Shadow Devil. Looks like there's a raucous party happening inside. I could theoretically try and join that. SIT kids really dance to a different beat. I could go upstairs also. There's a fight in that room, stench in this one. I remember though. Not particularly useful of a room. Guys, at this time, Glordo's still hucking the foodstuffs. This is just the basement. Yep. Let's move one space over. I'm getting very close to the front door is overgrown with vines. Hang on. Let me just quickly pull up this baloney Umbraline. An Umbraline remover or annihilator might actually be like a useful thing for the late game, possibly. Okay, unfortunately it doesn't have like a vines remover or anything like that. I was looking to see if I could do a little bit of extra alchemy here. He's just tending to that. Everyone else is still pretty comfortable. I'll grab a new boon. Why not? Fair enough. Final is the stone one, which I still never really figured out what to do with. Although, maybe we kind of did, but it's bugged. I don't know. Some kind of weird hovering rock. Pretty fancy. Yeah, maybe this one's just not particularly interactable for a jazz agent. The class that I'm currently playing, maybe it's bugged. It is theoretically possible, because a couple other things in the game definitely appear to be. Specifically in terms of certain long chain quest triggers. Alright, in the Big Moist, I really don't want to revisit literally all of these. I'm only going to go to the ones that I haven't been to very recently and that seem like they may have something additional. Abandoned Truck, Leathers Brothers, maybe? I got the heights you needed? John chuckles inappropriately. Huh, need.
I got news for you. I don't need them. You can keep them. That was just a test. I want to see if I can trust you with real work, and it seems I can. Ready for some hunting?
Even if it was a test, I think I should get paid.
Paid for a test? You're all mixed up, mate. The test is to get paid work.
I change his mind.
Labor is labor. I don't work for free. Also, you said it was paid at the start.
Better not mention that you've done a whole lot of work for people for free this whole adventure. If Jessica ever asks for rent, you're gonna be in trouble. Really makes you think about the position of saving the world from shadows and lizards favors those with financial privilege.
Alright, if you stop screaming about it.
Gives you 19 meat.
Truth is, I got no need for 5 Gator Heights. My ambitions are far bigger. You met Paul, you know he's mute. I'm working to build him a leather tongue.
So what do you need for that?
10 Gator Heights.
Okay, I can do that.
Great, my brother will be thrilled.
Okay. I'm more than happy to do that for you. Thing is, though, I could have sworn I would have already had that. So I guess I'm just gonna go for a wee bit of a wander until I end up with him. We found a loose end to tie. I know it's only one, and it's not particularly important to us. But nonetheless, right?
I'm nuts to this swamp. Look, all my best glad rags are turned into actual rags. These stockings are silk. Well, I guess now they're silt. Oh, ha ha! You're about as funny as a rubber crutch. Ah, come on. If we keep moving, we'll be done sooner. Nothing done. Nothing doing. I ain't moving from this spot unless I got a proper set of pin covers.
She drops a nickel into the nearby payphone and talks into it urgently for a minute.
How on earth did you find a payphone in the middle of a swamp? I phoned my pops. He's sending along a pair of his old fishing waders. That's not what I asked you.
Before long, a delivery boy arrives with the waiters, and hands them over to Molly with the tip of his cap.
Very fashionable. You'll knock him dead at the dance hall. Oh yeah, laugh it up, Buster. If anyone I know peeps me wearing these, you're the one I'm gonna knock dead. Savvy?
Get 5 maximum HP.
Schlumpf.
Get! For the love it! What's with all these stinking mushrooms? I got spores all over me again. Why are you... Don't shoot him! You'll just get more spores everywhere. Yeah, but I'll feel better about it. Revenge ain't a solution for every situation, sugar, but it works more often than you think. Look, just wipe the spores off with this handkerchief. Don't get all bent out of shape. This never happened when I was working strong-arm jobs. Well, except for the time that goblin exploded at me.
You find some glowing green ooze. Please give me some Gatorman. I check it out, and now I have to fight some Gatorman because this is the Tussock. We know what this mission leads to. Can I get 4 hinds out of this? Please? I got 1. So it's 5 of those I'm gonna have to do. Got it. You know, I wonder if maybe I should do this while I'm quickly just searching the rest of the area. I'm gonna go tell the treehouse that I did all of the trees. Maximum tree completion. Will Hunter's not there. That makes sense, of course. Forgot about that. Peek through the blinders. Find nothing down there. Got it. Monster Shack. I'm gonna go check out how the kids are. Hopefully they've been keeping well and keeping safe. They've given me the most dutiful of all of the accessories I've had this entire time. Let me also quickly swap the hat back for the giant maggot. Okay, you're enjoying the feather. You're enjoying your smell of the wisp. Guy's enjoying the fingernail. Mossman's enjoying the moss mouth. Alright. What's Boris's boon here? I'm gonna keep my current boon. My +1 muscle. And fair enough, nothing left to do in that area. Mob Submarine. I already went to and also looted the lower level of Barbary Agara. I'm gonna buy the sack and see if maybe in there's... Nope, unfortunately, in the sack I do not find an additional thing. Great Maggot. One sec. I just realized. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a clammy Great Maggot, and then I'm gonna make it taped up clammy Great Maggot. Then I'm gonna make it comfy as well. And then I'm gonna give it 3 spell damage, making it spooky. Are any of the rest of these consumables rather than hats? Because if they are, they get used here. Roll of duct tape. No, I already used that. Unfortunately, can't do all of that. And then I think I did that already for my gun, but I didn't do it for different elemental types as well, which I could have done. I mean, I could turn it into a 1, but I'm obviously not going to do that. Turn it into a different kind of weapon in any way. Okay, no, we're fine. I think those are as modified as they are going to get. And then for our pants, I'm looking for the weathered jeans, and then to modify them as much as possible. Powered up jeans, some chemical hand warmer for those jeans, some spray on asbestos, obviously a quilt square as well for some 3 spooky armor, self-adhesive rivets classically, the Jocelyn strap for +3 to melee, giant belt buckle as well. I think that's them. The garish supported riveted comfy fireproof warm electrified weather jeans. That's about as much power as I think I can get on a character. Hey Barbara. Just humming. Makes sense. I'm gonna go downstairs and see if there's anything creepy down there still or new. Oh, there is! Ah, a shadow rift that I hadn't closed. A bird speaks in an eerie, articulate human voice.
It is what? Starve you if you eat it. It need rich thee and have poor thee. Shadow than darker and infinity than greater is it.
I intuit the answer, which is gonna be nothing.
Nothing. The answer is nothing.
Correct.
Hooray!
Part of the nothingness is missing there, though. The bird speaks again. It is what? Eclipse every surrounds and beer your fills it. It has no... It for use no has... Shadowed thee through space and time of end thee and everything of beginning the is it. It is the beginning of everything and the end of time and space. Through the shadow, although the shadow has no use for it, it fills your beer and surrounds every eclipse. What is it? No clue. Intuit the answer. E! Ah, right, of course. E, the letter E. Correct. I shouldn't have been able to guess that one. Bird speaks, his voice is louder and further away. It is what? Near is it? All-consuming is it? Inevitable is it? What's the answer to that one? Intuit it.
The shadow.
Bird nods and flies away. A throbbing ring of negative energy appears to be around what appears to be an egg. I close it. You ready your pliers and set to plying until the ring of energy is nothing left. Excellent. we have closed yet another of these rifts. I mean, yeah, I can try and go deeper and deeper and deeper into the basement just to see if there is anything at the very end that I was unable to finish interacting with last time. Nah, seems fine. Very glad that I came back here, though. Again, another loose end tied up. Did you know you had a... No, you know what? I'm not going to bother her with it. She doesn't need to know about that. Go to the Mossrock Grotto. There is also the Heim Quarry here that really feels like it should be, something. Of course, my gun's on fire. That's why it's steaming like that. Moss is twinkling for some reason. Nothing new there. Makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. But now, let's go to the Feldman and the Heim Quarry. Because I definitely need more things from here. There's this guy who's in charge, and I don't want him to be. If at all possible, I would like it that he's in charge. Okay, I don't need to do anything with the payload just yet, but it is set up to happen again in the future if I need it to. Gonna have to fight these, because these are Gatormen. Although I might call for a little backup. Get him, Toos! The only thing sharp enough to pierce a gator's hide is a gator. There's my next Gatorman hide, makes sense. Drive efficiently, excess gas usage will be deducted from your paycheck. Scram, I'm busy. Look behind it. Can't look behind the painting of the safe, unfortunately. Give the files a quick riffle through. They tend to be very thin. People will hire and quit real fast. So I guess maybe if I went the other direction here instead, and kept all of these people as frogs, then I would have the ability to look through the back here, and then I would also have the ability to look through the safe. Maybe I've just completely locked myself out of that. Okay, escape plan that we tried to help with. This is where we killed the maggot and got the one I'm wearing on my head at the moment. Alright, Frogbog, anything new? I've got to fight these folk because they have a Gatorman. Come on, hide. No, doesn't count as a Gatorman, counts as a vampire, unfortunately.
Rabbit, 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 rabbit.
Cool, cool. That's exactly as I wanted it to be, and exactly as I left it. The boxcar itself is sideways, but not particularly deep. Moonshiner's Cave, Mudhenge. Obviously, I've been to Mudhenge enough times for a lifetime, I can only imagine. I'm spending a lot of money on this stuff that I don't need. And maybe I oughtn't do that. A vein of confident limestone. Unfortunately, don't have any more of that to pluck off of the wall. Moonshiner's Shack is next to us. Flemberg Place down below that, which I haven't been to in a while. Try pattern of a Lincoln, which sounds like a impressive piece of deduction, but honestly the top hat and beard are a dead giveaway. Ah, there we go, so that's how we know which to follow. Gatorman Village, Gatorman 4. I've been to both of those recently as well. Gatorman Hamlet? I also don't really want to have to go fighting Gatorman just out of school, but I slap him awake. Sorry, I need your skin. I'm gonna save the world. It's like, this. What? This is one less skin that I'm saving because I had to murder this guy? That's fine, right? That's like a rounding error on the amount of people I'm saving. Go to Largemouth Bass and Sons, which also really feels like it should still have some additional and some story for us, but I do feel like it's quite likely it doesn't because I navigated the story in a certain way. Keep my current boon, obviously. Unfortunately, I also remember having looked through all of these relatively recently. I'll take some hardtack. I haven't got some hardtack on me at the moment, unfortunately. And I don't think the other fisherman likes me significantly more than that, unfortunately. Oh. Although I can eventually make my way all the way through here, it doesn't look like it's going to help me to do so. Dang. I mean, I got to clear an additional shadow area. That's pretty good. That's like high quality outcome there. Let's go check Flemberg. And then at maximum Dauphin before I leave. Some viscous goo. Some viscous goo. Now, there's no goo remover, unfortunately. The goo itself would have to be rubber? Asbestos? Bologna? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's relevant. The old Flemberg place. More tools if I definitely need them. Hey, how's it going? To class over there. Nope. Nothing doing yet again. Wrecked riverboat, don't need to go back to that certainly. Radio Shack has nothing new either. Okay, yeah, now we're just on the searching for Gatorman to beat up. I'm just gonna go to the fortress and kill all of the ones that I spared the life of earlier. Like, yo, I could have snuck past you, but I could also just murder you. I didn't want to have to murder you. But I've murdered so many at this point that really doesn't make a difference at this point to me. I'm already going straight to hell. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Excuse me? I didn't even get skin from that. I didn't even get Gatorman skin from beating up all the Gatorman. That's the only reason I'm doing it. If you don't give me the Gatorman skin, I just look like a sadist. Well, I'm just gonna wander around a wee bit and eventually find some more gators. I do think I originally only had 5 because I'm guessing the mission would only let me collect 5 before I could then turn it in. Please. Flappy batwing shape. No, I'm just gonna leave anything that is not a fight with. There we go. No. That's unfortunately not a fight. That would have just been the opportunity to spend even more of my meat. I didn't read that text fast enough to realize that it wasn't going to be a Gatorman. I don't think this is going to require enough time that it's worth, pausing the episode, going and killing all of these gators and then coming back. But we are kind of tending close to that. Closer than I want to be. There we go, Gatorman! You're what I'm looking for! Hello! Die! By my hand! I say by my hand. Really, that hand is mostly the one that reared and instructed Deuce, who will actually be the instrument of your demise. Gatorman hide? Let's have a look at exactly how many of the Gatorman hide we have at this point. 10! Beautiful! That's enough.
Oh, Leather Brothers! I have some hide for you.
You hand over rather all of the gator hides you collected.
Beautiful. That's beautiful leather. That'll make a beautiful tongue. I can look at any animal and tell you what sort of tongue its hide will make. You don't believe me? Go on. Go ahead. Name any animal.
Whale.
Is that a trick question? I ain't never heard of a whale.
Okay.
That's the tongue sorted. But without something to animate it, it's just a lump of leather flesh. What I need, mate, what my brother Paul really needs, is the power of speech. This next part's gonna be easy to explain if you ever read The Little Mermaid.
I'm not hunting a little mermaid for you.
Yeah, you don't need to hunt a mermaid, mate. What you might not know is that fairy tale about a little mermaid who gives up her voice is based on the real-life story of a gator merman who traded his voice for a bucket of ham. At least that's what Hans Christian Gatorman got the idea. I tracked that voice down to a fishing hole in the gator village I told you about before. I gotta have it. Anything for my brother. Family's everything, mate.
Gator Village. I just gotta go fishing in the Gator Village? Easy. There's no one here to stop me. It's the fishing spot John mentioned. Gimme, gimme, gimme. The voice of a Gatorman. Hey, John. I got it. Oh no, the Gatorman detective. You thought he was only a myth. Poor unfortunate mailman.
You're a Gatorman detective? I presume?
Presumption accurate. Accusing hunters. Crimes grievous. Murdering Gatorman. Killing mailman. Despoiling land. Speak you. Be accomplice. Huh? Huh? Be ally Gator. I wouldn't harm a scale on a gator's head. Telling truth? Or controlling glands?
What are you gonna do to those men?
Mailman dead. Suspect hunters. Have trial. Find guilty. Consume them.
Could you let them go, maybe?
Am unaccepting. Do justice. Liquefy them.
You're gonna eat them?
Drink them.
I take my leave. The hunters have become caged.
What happened here?
Got snatched, didn't I? It's funny, I'm calmer than I thought I would be. That mailman slaughter's been hanging on my conscience some, and I think I'd been expecting the law of Johnny Law before too long. But Paul, he wasn't wrapped up in this. It's not fair, he should go down for it too.
I give Paul the voice of Gatorman. Paul and John's eyes widen in anticipation as you pop the lid of the grimy jar. A whispered breath escapes the glass prison and wends its way through the bars of the cage, pausing in midair and darting up Paul's nostrils. The Gatorman is far too baffled by this to react. 40 experience freshly animated, Paul's leather tongue gets to wagging. I turn to him.
Enough! Enough of obscene murder in asymmetric service to animalistic desire. Each of you practices a violence that is worse than base. It is vicious, it is corrupt, and it is wrong. I call for an end to all aggression. I call it now. At stake is the project of life itself.
Paul, what are you saying?
Then Paul Leathers says 3 words so painfully profound they reduce not just his brother, but his Gatorman captor to contrite tears. I could do that too if I wanted. Gushing genuine crocodile tears, the Gatorman detective unlocks the cage and brings both brothers into an embrace.
Paul, the hunting, the killing, all of it. I did it to bring back your voice.
In finding me a voice, you gave away your heart. No longer can I recognize our blood in the ocean of it you have spilled. I call you brother, no more.
Let's focus on the positives. Paul has a leather tongue.
At Paul's urging, John tosses his knife into the swamp in repudiation of violence. The Gatorman is so moved, he tosses in his magnifying glass in solidarity. I grab the items before they sink, but I'm casual about it. Without even looking, you hook both discarded weapons on the tip of your foot and flip them back up into your pocket. You get a valuable hunting knife, deals 5 times your muscle in physical damage, eventually, sharpened thrice, cut once, and a magnifying glass. Detectives use these to investigate tiny crimes. I watch Paul take charge. Paul eloquently negotiates a resolution to the mailman murder. John will go to with the Gatorman to face trial, but the death penalty will not be levied against him.
This can't be goodbye, brother. I don't wish it.
Know that if I see you again, it will be for the last time. I will use the last of my life to build a ladder to heaven of my own so that I may protect the dinosaurs from men like you. I also will be doing that. Paul Leathers has regained powers of speech. He's almost glowing. Hello, Paul. It seems our paths are fated to cross. How are things between you and your brother? He may be my blood, but I do not call him brother. Our blood is undone by all that he has spilled in the cause of violence and vengeances. When we next meet, it will be in that azure empyrean, upon the highest rungs of our respective ladders to heaven. So, not great then. What are you going to do now? I build a ladder to heaven, which, as we speak, grows rung by rung. When's that going to be done? I expect not for several weeks. Can we trade? Unfortunately, no new items are available from him. And that seems to be a full exhaust of all of what he has to say about the situation to us. The poor unfortunate mailman is still down there. And we've kept the cage. Let's do a quick jump for joy right there. Make our way over to the Dolphin House for the final location of the swamp that I need any new or additional checks upon. And then that takes us just to Grey County, effectively. But I haven't gotten that many new items since I was last in Grey County, so it feels like a much more narrow kind of situation for us. I know there's the radio that I can listen to get additional hints around this area, but I've also already done that. So I suspect there is no additional hint. Splash some water on my face to get rid of my negatives. Fancy serving cart. I look under the dome, and it's empty. Could I try and fish in things? Sure. Do I want to try and fish in things? Completely different kind of question, isn't it? There's the attic. Yeah, this is not necessary. I'm leaving Dolphin House. I'm gonna go to the bus stop, take our way to Grey County. And very gradually go and visit additional locations here. Just for speed and tack. Gilmore House I've been to relatively recently. This is the this is where Gilmore trusted me that the dolls were not going to kill him, and then went upstairs and got killed by the dolls. I'm, in fact, almost entirely certain of that. The additional pages here are just the pages that were for the initial solve of this puzzle. Yep. Pretty comfy at this point that we have definitely fully exhausted this. Molros House. Hey, I cashed in the insurance. Nope, nothing new to say to us about that. Delphine House. Although Delphine House is where I am, so I know that I don't need to be there. Draxelsteed we've been to recently. Pukwudgie Village I have inspected again, also recently. Oldham Mill. Burbling Ooze. Probably the only thing I haven't been to recently enough for there to be a new interaction. Alas, there is not.
like this place nearly as bad as that swamp. It's pretty desolate, but it seems like it used to be nice. Nothing ever happens here. There's nothing for it to happen to or with. Just corn and wheat and pigs. Don't shoot the piggies! I ain't gonna shoot the piggies! What you take me for? I got a mind to pop some corn, though. Was this whole conversation just for that pun? No?
Molly's mysticality increases by 1 as she's thought up a really good pun and a way to sell it to you.
Rows and rows of soybean as far as the eye can see.
Lock a combo, we already achieved that. I mean, hey, I've been specifically in this facility very recently again. It would be remarkable if anything had had time to be new. A filing cabinet, which is locked. I unlock it with Ford's factory key. You unlock the filing cabinet and the inside you leave with the little key you found on the desk. Rather, this must be the easiest puzzle in any adventure game ever. I search it. You flip through the folders. It looks like they're employee records, but each one has been sealed in its own envelope. They must take employee privacy real seriously around here. Nothing weird or interesting catches your eye. Well, nothing mind. Never mind. Strange. I guess maybe I'd missed the full trigger of that. Leaving that area though, Grove Valley, okay, walk away slowly. A rolling boulder of sticky crude oil is coming down the hill at slow, terrifyingly slow speed. If you don't get out of the way in the next 3 to 4 hours, you're truck food. I roll it back up the hill with 8 muscle. I walk away slowly, 0 muscle. Phew! You sidestep the big glob just in time to watch it carry its path for another several hours. None of this area seems desperately important. Can't go into her house. Can I pick these shadow cherries? No. McMillican Cuddy Farm. I've just been to the hellhole. Black Gold Mine. Does have the downstairs area where the vampires were. Again, had been here recently in order to liberate a hobo. I don't think it would have had time to really repopulate with anything important, and indeed, it hasn't. You know, that just about takes me to what I can only possibly think should be our next move. That said, if you happen to know of an additional thing that has so far been missed that is worth and important and good, neat and fun and cool enough, any of those things ultimately, to be worth going back to, please feel free to leave it in the comments down below, because next episode I can only imagine is going to be the last. My name is Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Shadows Over Loathing. Top left is a series playlist for all my content in the game, past, present, and future. You do recommendation down below. Stream past the names of the people who are generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. I both thank you, and a special thanks this episode to Yannick. Hopefully you'll all been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.